Big news here. Excited to hear about Eli Holstein committing to Alabama, but does that essentially rule out Arch Manning from Scottsboro, Alabama? Well, there's a lot to unpack here. So if you're listening on Wednesday, yesterday, Eli Holstein, four-star quarterback for the class of 2023, committed to Alabama. Now, this is very noteworthy. Number one, because anytime Bama takes a quarterback, it's noteworthy because they essentially have their pick of whoever they want. So Eli Holstein is a four-star quarterback. He's top 100 kid nationally, big, 6'4", 220. So he's full grown already. Now, obviously Alabama had been in the running for Arch Manning. And so there's a lot of thought out there, connecting the dots, so to speak, that once they've taken him, they being Alabama, then Arch Manning must be out of the running and it must be down to like a one or a two-team race and Texas takes the lead. I happen to share that philosophy, so I do believe that. I don't believe, in other words, that Arch Manning and Eli Holstein are going to be in the Alabama signing class. I always thought that was going to be one or the other. I can tell you that Steve Wiltfong, our National Director of Recruiting, even as we're recording here, he reached out to Arch Manning's coach, and they said regarding the official visit that Arch Manning's going to take to Alabama, nothing has changed on that front. A visit does not mean a commitment, obviously. So I think that this does mean a lot. And I also think it means a lot on the Alabama side of things. You know, Alabama's squarely in the mix for Arch Manning. I think what this screams is they felt comfortable enough that the evaluation was comparable enough. They had these two guys classified similarly enough that they were willing to give both of them committable offers, and they were willing to say the first one who takes it gets it. It's not that they would turn down Arch Manning at this point, but they're realists like I am and probably understand they're not getting both. My point is, if they had Arch Manning evaluated at such a higher level than Eli Holstein, they would not have taken Eli Holstein's commitment right now. They would have waited it out. They easily would have waited until the regular season gets here or until fall gets here and maybe even into December. They didn't. They took Eli Holstein's commitment now. And what that means is they are willing to say goodbye to Arch Manning if that's what this means, which should tell you all you need to know about how highly Alabama evaluated Eli Holstein. I was over on Bama Online, and you know the last thing in this world I want to do is credit Tim Watts for anything. But let me credit Tim Watts. They've been all over this over on Bama Online, and they've been able to keep you up to date on the inner workings and the inner thoughts inside the program of how that evaluation process has worked out and the entire recruiting process. And I was reading some of his kind of post-commitment nuggets over there on the roundtable on Bama Online, and he was talking about this. He was talking about how, hey, the evaluation was such that they were willing to take him now. And Eli Holstein is an all-in kind of kid. They don't have to worry about him decommitting. They don't expect that to be a problem. It's never a guarantee. But now we get to reassess the Arch Manning sweepstakes. And Texas has got to feel good about this. You also don't know if any other players could get involved. By players, I mean teams, could get involved. So, yeah, I don't think there's any two ways about this. Bama taking this commitment is a very big deal. Saw Pete Golding, the defensive coordinator, ironically, was very influential and a key player in this recruitment. You know, right now, I don't know how many people even realize this, but Bill O'Brien is the offensive coordinator there, entering his second year. He was big on that eval, obviously because he coaches the quarterback position and runs the offense. So they feel good about it, and if they feel good about it, then I think they're comfortable with the dominoes just falling accordingly as it relates to Arch Manning. But big pickup there. I mean, I'm glad it happened right before we started recording.